The grand opening of the Monsal Trail took place on Wednesday the 25th of May 2011, and a grand occasion it certainly was, not just because the guest of honour was a Duke, but also because it marked the completion of a £2.25 million project to open up the 4 old railway tunnels, not just for special visits, but for everyday use, to make the Monsal Trail an easy access off-road cycle route through these hills and dales of the White Peak. After checking in at Hassop Station, local school children and invited guests got the chance to try out the newly refurbished trail for themselves. Before the Duke of Devonshire, who was standing in for the Minister of Transport, kicked off the proceedings at this famous local landmark.
The Monsal Viaduct is one of the most outstanding views in the Peak District. It's on all the brochures and the calendars and the postcards. In fact, it pushes certain houses rather out of the way quite often, and not surprising because it is such a stunning view. But it also forms a part of a trail which has, I'm afraid, been sadly neglected over, at least it must be about 40 years, I suppose, since the Midland Railway closed in the 1960s. The Monsal Trail, stretching from Bakewell through the wonderful limestone landscape of the Wye Valley, has always been popular with walkers who've been able to climb up over the dales at Monsal Head, at Crestbrook and at Chee Tor. And it's been a great Sunday afternoon dawdle out from Bakewell to Great Longston or vice versa. But if you're on a bicycle or in a pushchair or in a wheelchair or on a horse, it has suffered from these 4 apparently immovable objects. These wonderful Victorian tunnels which have been closed with those great big metal doors up until right now. So today is a great day in the life of an important transport route. And I understand that the Transport Minister, who really did want to be here today, I know that, the Minister would have made this point about how it's an important transport route if he'd been able to be here today. St Pancras was opened in 1868. The directors of the Midland Railway fought hard with, amongst others, my own family, to identify a route between London, the industrial Midlands, and the fast-growing metropolis of Manchester. It wasn't a universally popular decision. John Ruskin said at the time, and I'll just read a little bit of what he said, there was a rocky valley between Buxton and Bakewell once upon a time, divine as the Vale of Tempe. You enterprised a railroad through the valley. You blasted its rocks away. You heaped thousands of tons of shale into its lovely stream. The valley is gone, the gods with it. And now every fool in Buxton can be in Bakewell in half an hour, and every fool in Bakewell at Buxton, which you think a lucrative process of exchange. You fools everywhere. That was one view. But the line prospered despite Mr. Ruskin, and became a vital part of the economic and social life of the Peak District and of England for over 100 years. On the 1st of July 1968, the trains were diverted to what is now the Hope Valley line between Dore and Chinley, and this great line was then closed, apparently, and that was it. So I'm thrilled that today we have, I think, the last employees of the Midland Railway who are based at Millersdale and Monsal Halt stations. Betty Nesbitt and Wilfred Owen, and Ken Munns. You worked at Monsal Halt, Great Longston, and at Bakewell. That's right. You look much too young to have done all. We really are lucky across the Peak District to have some great traffic-free trails. The Manifold, High Peak, Tissington, Thornhill, and Upper Derwent Dam. And these fantastic routes allow keen cyclists or toddlers new to cycling or even old people new to cycling for that matter, safe access to some of the most extraordinary landscapes in this country. And they do that in ways which don't interfere with day-to-day farming and, most importantly, are entirely safely away from our increasingly busy roads. For visitors, these are the great transport routes of today, but many suffer from a big problem. You have to get in a car to drive to them. So they don't score very highly on the sustainability front at this stage, not yet anyway. Perhaps the Monsal Trail will have something of the best of the other trails, but also something new too. And I have no doubt that after today, the Monsal Trail will regain its status as one of the most extraordinary transport routes in the Peak District. You can now cycle, you can walk or ride 8.5 miles from Coombs Road in Bakewell to Wydale, Wydale near Buxton. I believe, and I hope to find out for myself, that it's a gentle climb of over 600 feet. I'm not sure whether that's not a bit of a contradiction. Anyway, but a very easy ride down. And that does matter. It does really matter, ladies and gentlemen, that it is easy. The great Victorian engineers have done our generation a huge favour, which may have profound effects on how people experience this part of the Peak District National Park in the future. It will be a great way of experiencing the rich wildlife and heritage of the Wye Valley, and I'm really excited to hear that the Derbyshire Wildlife Trust has plans to develop Millersdale Station as an excellent visitor centre in the future. I certainly wish them luck with that venture. But even more than all these advantages, it's the start of a project that will make it easier for cyclists and walkers and riders of all abilities to travel into this wonderful national park and at the same time leave their cars at home. 2 new businesses have opened at either end of the trail, and I welcome their enterprise and wish every good luck to the Ashtons and the Stokeses. The best of luck with their cycle hire and their tuck shop and their cafe, which are all very important part of the offer that this trail gives us. The message is loud and clear. It's leave your car behind, get the bus to Bakewell or Wydale, and then literally get on your bike. And I know that the National Park Authority want to link this new part of the Monsal Trail to the railway stations in Buxton and Matlock. I'm so pleased to hear what Councillor Spencer from Derbyshire County Council will be doing to make the rest of this great vision a reality. This is not, ladies and gentlemen, the end. Especially, I think, in the national park, the way we travel, to a degree at least, defines us. It's vital that all our footprints, both the booted ones and the carbon ones, are as light as possible. And what could be lighter than our feet, the horses' hooves, and the wheels of bikes and pushchairs and wheelchairs? It's a perfect solution. I do think, I hope, that 150 years later, Mr. Ruskin might have got over what he called the despoilation of the Wye Valley. And like all of us, he would love it as it is today, and love the fact that so many people can come out from the towns and really enjoy it in a good, calm and safe way. I think he would thoroughly approve of this initiative, which is about helping people appreciate the wonders of this place in a way that is especially kind to its own environment. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Look forward to enjoying this wonderful initiative yourselves, and please tell all your friends what a splendid idea it is and how important it is to support it, and the important shops at each end of it, because without them we would be unsustained. That would never do. Thank you all very much.
Thank you from all of us for those very interesting and kind words. We are grateful for you coming, and we're looking forward to seeing you on your bike.
Yes, I'll do my best.
Head to toe in Lycra.
Maybe not.
And now a few words of thanks to all those people who've made this project possible. Jeff Nichols, the Deputy Chair of the Authority, is going to do that for me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Tony, and looking forward to seeing you in Lycra too, actually. Right, so it's my job to say thank you to the people in the organisations who actually helped bring this about, and it's quite a long list. It feels a bit like the Oscars, so I'll try and get through it without bursting into tears at the end. And, but I'd like to say thank you to my mum and dad for bringing me up. But seriously, I mean, we started this, must have been about 2 years ago probably, and it's been absolutely a fantastic achievement to get to where we are now from where we started. And certainly in the course of it, some of us believed we wouldn't make it, but it's testament to everybody involved that we're able to stand here today, and I'm going to sort of mention the people who brought it about. The Minister's not here today, but obviously a key part of it was from the Department of Transport who provided the funding for the project. In the previous government, Sadiq Khan MP was the Minister who originally approved it. Norman Baker has shown lots of enthusiasm for it in the coalition government since, so we're very grateful for that support. We couldn't have done this without the help of Cycling England. They shared our vision, they backed us up, they provided the funds, they provided huge amounts of expertise. I mentioned Philip Darton, the chair of Cycle England, Steve Garidis and Isabel Stoddart, who provided lots of technical help, and John Grimshaw, their consultant. And without them and their support and their knowledge and vision, then we couldn't have made it happen. Also, just thanks to Derbyshire County Council. A range of their transport and rights of way staff and other officers have been very, very supportive with technical help with all manner of things, with servicing and lighting and all the rest of it. And we're looking forward to, we hope, working in partnership with them going forward to complete the job that we'd all like to see done. So in a way, that's the policy bit. But a huge amount of work and people involved in the construction side of things. And I've been given a list, and I'm going to go through it. Firstly, David Thomas of AMCO, who repaired our tunnels, and he kept the one bat that we found in the course of it, which we had to do all sorts of surveys for and put boxes for. It's now a very, very happy bat, so Joe Murphy and Sons, Steve Reynolds, who was the electrical manager. At times we couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, he could, and we now see the lights within the tunnel, and then that was one of the major things that we had to achieve. It cost something like £600,000 to light these tunnels, and it's a huge achievement. And having cycled through them, I think we've struck exactly the right balance between making it safe but keeping it interesting, and that's been quite a big challenge really. Glyn and Ben Yates, they were local contractors who helped to start the project, and they emptied the tunnels with over 500 tonnes of rubbish, and most of which was the kitchen sink. So obviously everything had been thrown in there, including the kitchen sink. So thanks to them. David Bocking of Pedal Ready, who has helped lots and lots of people young and old to rediscover cycling, and that's been part of the project. It's not just about the kind of capital construction works, but it's been about promoting cycling, getting more people cycling again, and bringing them, encouraging them to use it. So thanks to David. John Dixon and Angles Arc Dixon Associates, Bill Bevan of InHeritage, for all the interpretation we've done along the route. And there's some, if you've not done the route, there's some lovely signs. It's all themed along the, as you can see here, on the original Midland Railway colours, which I think, and the signs on the tunnels are the same. And I think that's a lovely kind of connection with the past, and shows the heritage it's all coming from. I'm nearly there. There's the countryside maintenance team at our own National Park Authority under Pam Pickering for all the new signs that we put in and doing all of that. And a final word for all the National Park staff. One or two, and one in particular, Rhonda Pursley, who has lived and breathed this project. I'm amazed she's survived to see the end of it. I don't know, here she is. I really don't know how Rhonda's kept herself together till the end of it, but I think the achievement here is something that she'll be proud of forever, and it's you know, a great testament to Rhonda's commitment and ability to see it through. And all the other people who at the National Park who backed Rhonda up and actually brought this, what is a marvellous reality, about. So thanks everybody.
And thanks to Jeff, who has been the lead member on this project. He's worked immensely hard. Very grateful to Jeff. And now the future. What else are we going to do? Simon Spencer, newly appointed Deputy Leader of Derbyshire County Council with the Cabinet Member responsible for transport. Simon.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm absolutely delighted to be here this morning, and tribute to everybody who's been involved in this scheme. It's a fantastic effort by all concerned. I'd like to just say how important this is to the local economy. This is part of the Derbyshire County Council strategy in delivering alternative forms of transport, and we, the County Council, the County Councillor responsible for this, will be totally and fully committed to its completion. We have a £4.8 million bid in place, and let's keep our fingers crossed it's successful next month. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we have Wilfred, Betty and Ben. Are you poised? Are we all ready? Right. Never thought you'd be doing this, did you? Oh, wonderful.
Well, that was the official opening on the 25th, but the tunnels themselves were open to the public on the evening of the 12th of May, and today, the 13th, they're getting their first general usage. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, fantastic.
Jeremy Taylor's retracing the route of the old Midlands Railway. It's a journey that takes him deep inside the rolling hills of the Peak District.
There's one particular view where we're going that just was about 60-70 metres long, and the days when trains came, if you blinked, you missed the view, and it's one of the finest views in the Derbyshire Dales.
The railway swept through the most spectacular countryside, a masterpiece of Victorian engineering with tunnels and viaducts carrying its trains through the Wye Valley, offering passengers the last word in rail comfort. But it lasted just 100 years. Now the line's being reopened from Buxton to Bakewell at a cost of more than £2 million.
Of course, the scenery hasn't changed, but you haven't been able to see this view since the late 60s when the railway stopped operating.
And this view shows the television crews hard at work on May the 13th, when the Monsal Trail was fully open to the public. By now, as well as repairing and reopening 4 tunnels and installing electric lights, which, as you can see, weren't working on the day when the Peak Park staff had their preview, no, as well as the tunnels, the trail had to be resurfaced up to the standard of the Hassop-Longston stretch, which had been upgraded back in 2009. And of course the signage had to be replaced to let visitors know that the trail was now a through route, which meant that access had been restored to this part of the trail, a part which previously you could only get to if you were booked onto one of the special tunnel walks, which tended to stop here for lunch, overlooking the splendour of Watercombe Jollydale.
The view's just amazing. I've never actually been here before. I've never seen the view from here.
We're here with Women on Wheels, and they've invited us to come ride through the tunnels for the first time.
You know, you can imagine what it would have been like on a train, and then you pop out and there's this beautiful view. It's lovely.
I think all Great Longstone, are going to benefit as well by it, as well as the surrounding community. wheelchairs and young mothers, etc.
But I shall walk, do more walking.
It's great for people who are not used to riding on the roads and are a little scared of doing that, to actually get their confidence and cycle that little bit further.
The opening of the tunnels extends the Monsal Trail, which now offers around 12 miles of fairly flat walking and cycling.
Previously, people have had to walk around the tunnels. The National Park acquired them back in 1981, and it's long been an ambition of ours to open them up and to enable people to see some fantastic scenery that they've not been able to see before.
The route opens officially next week.